What if I told you something that most people will never admit out loud? The love you say you want, you are the one pushing it away. Not him, not your past, not your circumstances. You. And the worst part? You are doing it completely unconsciously. While you are smiling, while you are trying, while you are doing everything right on the surface, something underneath, something deep in your subconscious is working against everything you consciously want, and it has been doing this your entire life. Now, before you close this, before you say that is not me, let me ask you one question. Have you ever had someone good, genuinely good, and found a reason to pull back? Have you ever felt uncomfortable when love came too easily? Have you ever self-sabotaged a relationship that was actually working? If any part of you said yes, this is for you. Neville Goddard understood something about the human mind that psychology is only now beginning to confirm. He said, your subconscious assumptions are not just thoughts, they are commands, and they are running your love life without your permission. Stay with me. Because what you are about to understand will change how you see yourself and every relationship you have ever had. The hidden commander. What your subconscious actually does. Most of us believe we are in control of our choices. We believe we choose our partners. We believe we choose how we respond. We believe we are making conscious decisions about love every single day. But Neville Goddard said something that cuts right through that belief. He said, what you experience in your outer world is simply your inner world made visible. Your subconscious mind is not a passive storage room. It is an active creator. Every single moment, while you are sleeping, while you are talking, while you are laughing, your subconscious is taking your deepest assumptions about yourself and building a world around them. Now here is where it gets uncomfortable. Most women who struggle with love do not have a man problem. They have a subconscious assumption problem. And those assumptions were formed long before any man ever entered the picture. They were formed in childhood, in the home you grew up in the first time someone you loved made you feel like too much, or not enough, or both at the same time. And from that moment, your subconscious wrote a belief. Maybe it wrote, love always comes with pain. Maybe it wrote, people who love me eventually leave. Maybe it wrote, if someone sees the real me, they will go. And now, years later, you are in a relationship with a man who is genuinely good. And your subconscious does not know what to do with that. Because good, safe, consistent love does not match the story it wrote. So it starts working. It makes you pick small fights. It makes you interpret silence as rejection. It makes you feel restless when things are going well. It pushes love away, not because you want it to, but because your subconscious is simply trying to confirm what it already believes to be true. Neville's truth. The assumption is the enemy. Neville Goddard taught what he called the law of assumption. And it is deceptively simple. He said, whatever you assume to be true about yourself and your world, your consciousness will make real. Not might make real, not sometimes make real, will make real. Because consciousness, your imagination, your sense of I am, is the only creative power that exists. He said, by him all things were made, and without him was not anything made that was made. That him, that creative power, is not somewhere in the sky. It is your own awareness, your own imagination, your own deepest sense of being. And whatever assumption that awareness holds, it resurrects into reality. Now think about what this means for your relationships. If your deepest assumption says, I am someone love eventually abandons, your consciousness goes to work making that real. It does not matter how loving your partner is. It does not matter how many times he shows up. Your subconscious will find ways to create the abandonment it expects. It will push him away through your behavior. It will interpret his normal humanness as signs of leaving. It will create so much fear and anxiety inside the relationship that eventually the relationship breaks under the weight of that fear. And then your subconscious says, "See, I told you." This is the cycle, and it will repeat with every man in every relationship until the assumption underneath changes. Neville said, "You do not attract what you want. You attract what you assume." And most women have never been told this. They have been told to work harder, love better, communicate more, choose differently. But no one told them. The relationship you are living is a printout of the assumption you are carrying. Change the assumption, and a relationship must change, because the outer world has no choice but to reflect the inner world. That is the law, the story. When she finally saw it, there was a woman who came to understand this the hard way. 3 relationships, 3 different men, 3 different faces, and the same ending every time. Things would start beautifully. Excitement, connection, real love. And then slowly she would begin to feel unsafe. Not because anything was wrong, but because things were going right. And right felt dangerous to her, because somewhere in her subconscious lived an assumption that said, happiness is temporary. Good things are borrowed, not owned. The moment I relax, something will take it away. So she never relaxed. She watched for problems. She created distance when he came too close. She tested him, not intentionally, but constantly. Push a little. See if he stays. Push a little more. See if he leaves. And eventually they left. Not because they stopped loving her, but because no man can stay in a relationship where love is constantly on trial. After the 3rd time, she stopped blaming the men. And she asked a question she had never asked before. What do I believe about myself when it comes to love? And when she sat with that question, really sat with it, she found it. A belief formed when she was 7 years old, the day her father left. And the little girl inside her decided that day, when people really see you, they go. She had been running that program for 20 years. In every relationship, with every man, the moment she saw it, she wept. Not from sadness alone, but from relief. Because finally, she had found the real enemy. And it was not out there. It was an assumption. And assumptions can be changed. 3 practices, how to rewrite the assumption. So how do you actually do this? How do you find and change a subconscious assumption that has been running for years? Neville gave us the tools. Here are 3 practices, simple, powerful, and real. Practice 1, the honest mirror. Tonight find a quiet moment. No phone, no noise, and ask yourself 3 questions. Write the answers down honestly. Question 1. When love is going well, how do I feel? Peaceful or secretly waiting for it to end? Question 2. What do I believe happens when someone truly sees me? Do they stay or do they go? Question 3. What was the first time I learned that love was not safe? You do not need to analyze the answers. Just see them, because awareness alone, the simple act of seeing the assumption, begins to loosen its hold on you. You cannot change what you refuse to look at. Practice 2, the new I am. Once you have seen the old assumption, choose a new one. Deliberately, consciously, not an affirmation you repeat without feeling. A decision. Close your eyes, breathe slowly, and say from the deepest part of you, I am a woman who is safe in love. I am a woman whose realness draws love closer. I am a woman who receives without bracing. I am a woman love stays for. Say it slowly. Feel each word. Let it settle in your body, not just your mind. Do this every morning. 5 minutes. Before anything else. You are not pretending. You are choosing. And choice, repeated with feeling, becomes assumption. And assumption becomes reality. Practice 3. The night revision. This is Neville's most powerful technique for changing the subconscious. Every night before sleep, your mind is in its most receptive state. The door between conscious and subconscious is open, and whatever you give it in that moment, it accepts as real. So every night, replay your day. Find one moment where the old assumption showed up. That moment you felt anxious when he did not text back. That moment you pulled away when he came close. That moment you doubted what was actually good. Take that moment and revise it. See yourself in that same moment, but calm, trusting, receiving. See yourself responding from the woman who believes she is safe in love, not the woman who is waiting for it to fall apart. Feel it. Make it vivid. Make it real in your imagination. And then sleep. Let your subconscious absorb this new version of you, night after night, until the new assumption becomes louder than the old one, until receiving love feels more natural than pushing it away, until safety in love is not something you hope for, but something you simply are. I want to leave you with this truth. You are not broken. You are not too much. You are not hard to love. You are not someone who destroys good things. You are a woman who has been running an old program, a program written by a younger version of you who was simply trying to survive. But you are not her anymore. You are here, aware, willing to look. And that willingness, that single act of turning inward and asking the honest questions, that is where everything changes. Neville Goddard said, "Imagining creates reality." And the most important imagination is not the one about your circumstances, it is the one about yourself. Who you imagine yourself to be at the deepest level. That is what your life becomes. So imagine yourself now as the woman who is safe in love, the woman whose subconscious works for her, not against her, the woman who receives fully, who trusts quietly, who loves without bracing for the loss. She is not a fantasy. She is the assumption you have not yet chosen. Choose her today. This is Goddard Works. We go deep here. We do the real work. We study the teachings that actually change lives. If this reached something in you, subscribe to Goddard Works. Share this with a woman who has been wondering why love never quite feels safe. Because some truths arrive exactly when we are ready for them. And I believe you were ready for this one today. See you in the next one.